Yeah, come on!
Welcome to the Yeah Come On Show with Southside Steve.
Yeah, come on, and good morning to you.
We're done with that. We left that at Fox FM, which we didn't even get to. But you wanted a song, "Good Morning to You," based on Scandal's "Goodbye to You." I thought it sounded stupid, and I never did it for you. And I apologize for that, but I think I saved the listeners some heartache. They don't want to hear that every morning. Again, me and Mike had a meeting about it. When we first hired Mike as our producer, he heard you say that the first day, and he's like, "What is he talking about?" And,
Really?
And I was
You're
like,
a part of this now too?
yeah.
Look, you have to admit, I have good ideas a lot of times. I'm a creative thinker.
Yeah, you do.
And I was like, good morning to you. Good morning to you.
It doesn't work. But good morning to you, and we have to address your T-shirt because normally you're addressing my T-shirts, but obviously this has some meaning because we've discussed your '80s career at Atlanta Hartsfield Airport.
Mm-hmm.
What is this all about here? This shirt?
Well, this is my throwback. As I aligned just to show you, this was the greatest job I ever had. I loved it.
Whoa! Not better than Southside Steve, regular guys. What?
Better. This is my favorite job. Maybe we look at the regular guys as a career. This was a job, definitely my favorite job, but I think it's...
Okay, outside of radio.
I'm going to say if I had to choose, if I could make the most money I could make, I would rather do ASA than radio.
And then when you talk about
it means that much to me.
What you did at Atlantic Southeastern Airlines, this was Delta's commuter.
Yeah.
Right. It was owned by Delta, wasn't it?
It was owned 20%.
Okay.
Delta owned 20% of it. So when I went to work at the airport, I started with Marriott in-flight. And Marriott in-flight, and then there was Dobbins. And so Dobbins and Marriott handled all the food at the airport. So I was on the team that would drive a truck out, and I would have 2 to 3 aircraft to push to take off all the old containers and the old food and then put new food on for wherever that was going. And we dealt with Eastern Airlines primarily.
So you serviced not just Delta when you did the catering?
No, I didn't even service Delta. Dobbins had that contract. So I was stuck with Eastern, which was, the kind of the rebel airline versus Delta. This is Delta's hub. But I had Eastern Airlines, I had Sabina, I had Lufthansa, I had British Caledonia. I had a lot of those. So I did a lot of international flights. So when the truck drove up, I would be guiding in the truck and looking up because there were A300s, they were L10s, they were big planes. So the door to the plane is literally 3 stories above me. But you got to have a good, I get close and then stop the truck. He stops, we put chocks on the tires, and then we get inside the truck, and the truck raises up to be even with the door of the aircraft. And then it's our job to tap, and either the flight attendant opens it or you see her give you a thumbs up through the little window, and we open it. And then we do our job. We get off the old stuff, put on the new stuff. We're good. We lower the truck back down. And then I've got to guide the truck around all the airline people to get it back out on the little roads that run behind the aircraft. And then we go to our next aircraft.
Okay, that's just all day.
That's what I did.
Wow. And then how did that transition into you getting a job at ASA?
A place right there off Old National Highway called Dudley's, and they had nickel beer night and dime and nickel drink night for airline employees for 2 hours. And they would pack us, and then we'd all get drunk. Then we'd go to regular pricing. And I met all the Delta guys. And plus, you know me, I talk a lot, but I'm only around Eastern. I didn't want to work for Eastern because they had a union. I didn't like it. Delta's what I wanted. My neighbor worked for Delta. I wanted flight benefits. So I, for 1 year, worked at Marriott. It's the one place when I quit, they begged me to stay. The manager's like, come on, man. And the second I left, I got my brother hired there, Kevin. He became a Marriott guy, and he drove the small trucks that whenever they needed extra meals, or like when we loaded meals, they realized 2 more passengers are getting on, or a meal got spilt by a flight attendant before leaving. It was his job to literally, like an ambulance, haul ass to that aircraft and run up the meal up the steps because he didn't raise
Yeah, I
up.
feel like they don't do that anymore. If a meal gets dropped, you're out. You're SOL.
It's changed. This
Yeah.
was the 80s, and this was the time period from 85 to 90 that I'm speaking of. So finally, I met a guy. He helped me, and he's like, man, I work at ASA. We're the Delta Commuter. And I kept going up to a place called Phoenix Boulevard off Riverdale Road where their headquarters were. I tried for 8 months, finally got an interview, and I was hired in May of 86.
Okay.
And I went to work for ASA.
And so someone made an alumni. So this is a group of people that used to work there that liked it so much they made T-shirts. That's
Yeah.
pretty cool.
There's a guy named Don Willard who literally, so he was hired like 3 weeks before me. It's all based on seniority when it comes to off days, shifts, everything. So Don was always ahead of me. And he does an AIA or an ASA, alumni golf once a month at a golf course.
Once a month?
They do once a month, and they got a trophy, and it's pretty fun. I have not been able to participate yet.
Not once a year.
No, once a month.
Oh, wow.
It's a lot. And it's always on the south side. I just haven't gotten down there to do it. But he plays with a lot of guys that I knew. Steve Cropper, I think, is a weather guy, but he plays sometimes. Jeff Peak, just a lot of different names that I remember from the airline. But I ended up, after the bag room, they started me there. And then it was time to bid on new shifts. And then I got out on the ramp, and I was a ramp assist. And they realized, hey, this dude can guide aircrafts, because I was 21 years old.
Mm-hmm. And you can talk on the CB, on the radios.
And this is where Yeah Come On comes from.
Yeah.
So I'm on the radio, and I'd be like, ramp 2 to gate 2, Fort Walton Beach, clear in 5. Go ahead and send, another city would be like Panama City. We flew to 43 cities at the time. Send Panama City out of gate 28, clear in 5. Yeah, come out. And it's like, then I got to start engine 2 and then engine 1 once the door's up. And I had to do the baggage to tell them, we had nothing but hand signals. So on the Shorts 360, which had a front and a rear load, I'd be like 22 bags, and I'd point to the front, and then I'd point to the back, and I'd go 36 bags in the back. And that gave the co-pilot the weight and balance for takeoff.
Okay. And this is also where you work with my pal, David Hudson.
David Hudson and I worked together. I saw David Hudson. He and I, he dates your cousin and your roommate. And David Hudson and I were at the airline at the same time. And he was a lot of times a ramp assist, but sometimes he would guide planes too. And that's how he got let go. He guided a Dash 7 right into D-concourse, right into one of the step things.
Ooh.
And then you got to pee. So there were like 4 or 5 people had to pee for him. He might have survived that. I don't know if he survived that or got fired. It's hard to remember. But I remember, a lot of us, people smoke pot. Back then, I was just kind of a straight guy. So I'm like, I can pee for you. But, if somebody asked me, it's a joke.
Yeah.
I never did. But the airlines, the second you had an incident, they want you to pee in a cup.
You have to test?
Mm-hmm. And mainly what I think they were looking for was alcohol.
Yeah. Yeah.
Not anything else, just if you were alcohol. But the ramp signals were this. Like I would be like, come. And then once they're on the ramp, then you're driving them straight and the pilot's watching you and you're about 20 feet in front where he can look down and see you. And then you're like, turn, whether it's left, right. And sometimes I would do a fly by the tower, and David Hudson also did gate at one point in time. I'd go right by D-concourse as you guys go to Hartsfield Jackson now and have the wingtip this far off the windows. And you'd see people in their seats go, and kids, but it was funny. And we did silly little things where we'd walk and jump, just to entertain people at the gate. That's where Code 8 comes from, a hot chick on the ramp.
Well, yeah, Code 8. Like would this
That would be a Code 8.
Okay,
But she's a flight attendant, and that's me on the aircraft with her. Obviously, it's in the winter, and you can see the mic clip there. And the ASA shirt and the ASA jacket, we were all in our uniforms, and we could fly Delta at a discount and fly. That's the Brasilia Embraer. That's Gigi. She dated a buddy of mine, and
how old are you here? Like you're 21?
21, 22. Yeah, yeah. And I had too long a hair. I always got in trouble for my hair being too long in the back. A couple times I cut it short, but it was the airlines. I loved it. Man, when you're out there, when it snows, rains, pours, I've been out there where if you're guiding in the plane, somebody has to do it, even when it's lightning.
So is it the kind of job where just time flies? Like you're busy the whole time. You don't have time to sit around and.
For me, there wasn't time a lot of times but I had to make sure the planes, I would park them, and certain aircraft, depending on where the prop was, you parked them nose in or you parked them nose out, depending, because we had 4 different type aircrafts. But the baggage guys would hustle the bags over. But I'm there, the bag room would call me. I'd talk to the tower. They're like, we got 2 coming for aircraft 231. Can you hold? Can you hold? And I'm like, and I'd look at the pilot and I'd ask, I'd talk to operations, ramp 2, gate 2, bag room, 2 bags coming, and they'd either tell me to go or wait. And they knew what, and they would talk to the pilot, and then we would tell the tower at Hartsfield what we were doing, because they had to know once our planes were out and in line for taxi. And I saw so many things out there. It was just a job that I loved.
Wow, that's so cool.
There it is. ASA, a flashback to where it all started, and the whole little fun thing of come on. Mm-hmm. I also said palm trees forever, and I also said Bolivia. Those 2 didn't catch on. Right now, it's time for a little Steve MZ this morning. And this is brought to you by Small Sliders. We'll be out there rocking and rolling with those guys. The owners are a lot of fun. They've got their second location in Ackworth underway. They've already got this one right here done in Marietta, coming up on a 2-month anniversary. And then they're opening further south, but they're going to open 10 just in the next 6 months or less, Jeff. 10 locations.
And we're going to do all of them.
We're doing them all. We'll be doing the grand openings, and we will be there. And they bring you this morning Steve MZ.
Steve MZ.
I look at some of these headlines, and some grab me and some don't. Some I don't care about.
Just don't click on any ads.
No, I'm not. I'm not going to click on an ad because that's happened before. But I monitor. You're such an ass. I have done that. But I like People Magazine, Radar Online. I like TMZ. And that's where I draw some of my stories. But the most awkward interview I ever had was with Dennis Quaid. And I think I caught him on a bad day, because I think he's got to be cool as hell.
Yeah, he seems like he would be.
Yeah, so I've only interviewed him once. I met him, took the pictures with him. He signed the poster.
Is this in the Clear Channel days? Because I think,
yes.
Was he in the building? He came to the building.
No, I went to his hotel. I went to a location.
You went to a junket, as they say in the business.
A junket, yes. A lot of guys didn't come into the building because they didn't want to do that. They wanted radio stations to come to them. Sometimes they set up 2 camera shoots or 5 camera shoots or 4. It just depends. Like Mark Wahlberg, John Travolta, Kevin Costner. All those interviews were done off property.
Yeah.
And same thing with some of the famous sports guys. Jack Nicholson, or Jack Nicklaus, excuse me. I always get those 2 confused. Jack Nicklaus, the golfer, was on location. The people that came into the radio station a lot of times had a lot of security, like the crocodile hunter, probably one of the coolest guys.
I remember,
my God,
it was a big deal. So
huge.
when I first started producing that morning show on the 80s channel, right next door to the regular guys, I wasn't used to that.
Right.
So I walked down the hall one morning, and I am like, God, that guy looked familiar. 2 seconds later, oh my God, that was Christian Slater. Christian Slater had come in to see the regular guys. He was promoting the movie Wind Talkers.
Yes.
And he was there. He might have been with the director too, John Woo.
I think he was.
But anyway,
because Woo's a great director.
Because Christian, it was so cool because he looked right at me. He smiled and said, "Hey, morning," and looked like the nicest guy. And I was like, "Oh my God, it's Christian Slater." So for some reason, I thought Dennis Quaid had done the same thing. He'd come in, but he was at a junket.
What they did in the morning, just giving you guys background, because this is a 4-hour Atlanta radio show done in 30 minutes. The Yeah Come On show live without a net. Just the way radio was live. If something happens, it happens. They had a dump button. We don't, but we are on YouTube. So if something gets said, we don't sweat it.
Yeah.
But keep in mind, if we were doing terrestrial radio, Jeff would hit the dump button.
or Mike.
Or Mike. I know. God, he gets so touchy.
I know.
Mike, chill. But Dennis Quaid was in an awkward mode. But the way it happens in radio is if they need morning show, they're really trying to push a movie.
Right.
Or they're trying
and you have a tight time.
Concerts get pushed in the afternoon. I don't know if you noticed that. Rock stars come usually in the afternoon, occasionally in the mornings. Actors are always in the mornings. And they're used to early morning shoots in L.A., now Georgia, where you film. So it's not a big deal for them to get up. But they'll hit us. So they come in and they hit the pop station, like, for instance, when it was 96 Rock and, back in the day.
Star 94.
Star 94, they would hit Q100. But
Maybe 95.5 the Beyond.
Perfect. And then they hit the country if they think there's a listening audience there for their movies. But they drive them around in the limos. They start, you get 7 to 9, and they want to get in and get out of your studio. They're giving you 10 minutes. Pictures, bye. But sometimes they hang. It just depends on who the artist is. But Dennis Quaid, a lot of those guys, if they're filming in the afternoon, then what radio stations do is either the morning show goes to location or they send a member of the morning show. And that's how I got all my interviews.
Yeah. Well, why is Dennis Quaid, why is he in the news in Steve MZ?
Well, he's in the news because right now he wants to, I'd like my child support terminated.
Oh.
He's got a daughter not acting right.
That's under 18?
Yeah, there she. I'll show you a little picture. And this is from TMZ. Bam. So her issue
is Meg Ryan her mother?
Yes. The twins are graduating high school soon, and the court is going to make sure that basically they're not picking up any more cash flow from him. And you can tell she enjoys the spotlight. Why wouldn't she? Why wouldn't she? All dolled up. She's got a very Paris Hilton look about her. And her name...
so it's child support. It's not like legal child support because he's underage.
Yeah.
He's just supporting her, I guess.
Yeah. Their 18-year-old daughter, Zoe, graduated from high school May 23rd, and her twin brother, Thomas, is graduating June 3rd. Dennis wants to clarify that the child support payment should be terminated based on the graduations to his ex, Kimberly Buffington.
Okay, so
they're Kimberly Buffington's kids, not Meg Ryan's.
Oh, that makes it so they're 18. So yeah, then they're on their own. I'm sure they have enough money saved up. They'll be fine.
Yeah, I guess so. So they got divorced in 2016, and the couple finalized their divorce in 2018. He did 14 years of marriage with her. Now, to your credit, Meg Ryan, we loved these two together back in the day. Meg Ryan and Dennis Quaid share a son. They have a son.
Okay.
Yep, and his name is Jack Quaid. And that's their kid.
I think he's an actor. I think he's done some acting.
He has. Yeah. He has. So, we see if he's out. So he's had 2 wives, 3 kids, and these 2 are cut off as of now. All right, Polydictainment brought to you by today. We're going to give it to Rockin' Taco and David Markwell because David Markwell he told me, I like Rockin' Taco. I had a conversation with him. There he is. That's markwelltherapy.com. For 17 years now, he has been the psychiatrist for the radio, at least the radio I've done, Rock 100.5, as well as Fox FM, as well as now the Yeah Come On show. And a lot of people have used him and questioned him. He's one of those guys that can talk and sound very cool in the radio, and he's got a hip little look, bald with a beard. And go to markwelltherapy.com and ask for the Yeah Come On deal. And, of course, Rockin' Taco, which we will be there next Thursday with Slippery When Wet, the Bon Jovi tribute. Get your tickets at therockintaco.com, and that's ROCKNTACO, just like you just saw.
Polydictainment.
All right, this is a fun Friday Polydictainment, taking a break from the war and everything else. This is really what got me into politics back 6 years ago, because this video I'm going to show you is from, I believe, May of 2000.
All right, this is before we started working together.
Oh yeah. This is well before. This is when COVID was starting to take hold. And we already had the 2 weeks to flatten the curve. That was in March of 2000. Okay. So this is a couple months after.
All right.
And I'm just illustrating from day one. I didn't fall for any COVID thing. I was never scared, much less wanted to get vaccinated. Okay. Gotcha. And I'm going to prove it right now.
You're going to prove it.
I'm going to prove, and this is not staged. This is a real video. Yep. It was a real stunt that I did. This is kind of a stunt. This is kind of a Southside stunt, but I don't think you would do this. It's too dirty for you.
All right, we're going to see before you show this. And now you got my attention.
Yeah, I have not shown Steve this. This is totally freeballing.
All right, do the hand of God. Hand of God. And what radio people swear on is the microphone because we don't have Bibles in studios. We should, but we don't. I have no idea what you're about to do. I love this is my kind of radio. But I will tell you that I had my brother who was a fireman, and he's telling me what they're saying. He's telling me what doctors are saying. He's like, don't put it in your arm. Don't put it in your arm. And I'm like, Kevin, I'm salaried over $200,000 here, man. Mm-hmm. And I'm making a lot on the street. I said, I've got young kids. I live in I got to do this. Yeah. And I waited, me and another guy waited, Mike Key, who now is over at 680 The Fan, great guy. We were like the last ones at Cumulus to do it. Other people rushed in. I kept hoping against hope.
There'd be some sort of like some sort of legal ramification where you can't force someone to do this.
I kept waiting. I would hear people on both sides talking about this isn't legal. You're telling people what to do. They shouldn't have to do it.
Keep your laws off my body.
But Cumulus, it's no difference to me than women talking about abortion or anything else.
That's what made the world upside down. All the left that was keep your laws off my body, all of a sudden, yes, I'll do what you say. It made no sense, and this is the beginning of that. This is the beginning of COVID is what really divided the country, which is why I say Fauci ruined the world.
I do think Fauci ruined the world. I'm going to concur before I even see what you're about to show me. But, I went the very last day, got it done. And I was not happy about it. I wasn't. And I did it. And I carried that card. And I have it still in my phone just to remind me. And it means nothing now. Nothing.
Well, this video is well before the vaccine even. This is when everybody was starting to get scared. And CNN's running their death count. I'm like, no one is dying of this that isn't already old. Comorbidities, et cetera, et cetera.
My brother told me and other people, I won't even put it on my brother. The guys at even Station 1 downtown told me that a lot of flu deaths because the flu kills were being put off as COVID.
Exactly, and I knew this from day one, and I just want to prove it to you.
So set it up again. What are we seeing?
It's just a little fun video I made I made this at a brewery. I guess I won't name it, but at a brewery, just a little brewery with a buddy of mine who was also sort of anti-Fauci, anti-COVID.
Okay.
So this is from May of 2000. Okay. Here we go. It's a little radio. It could be a radio stunt. I called it the COVID Challenge. Ready?
Yeah.
Here we are doing the COVID Challenge at our local brewery. There's a left drink here. I don't know whose it was, but I'm going to share it with my buddy Kurt.
No!
Fuck COVID. Yeah. That's a challenge. That's the COVID challenge.
So there it is. And that was not staged. I saw an empty drink that wasn't drunk.
Which nobody wanted to drink after their friends, much less a stranger's drink.
Right, and I did it just to prove I'm not scared of COVID or any germs.
Wow. I remember our neighbors, the Sales, who were traveling, whenever they could fly, and we knew they'd been exposed and stuff and celebrating birthdays where they're literally on the lawn, and I filmed them saying happy birthday to somebody in the house. And we were like, we got young kids. And, a part of you knows better, but then there's a part of you that still worries. It was just a horrible time.
Well, that's the thing. There was no part of me that worried. That's what I'm trying to illustrate there. That's why I'm so passionate about it. And that's what got me into even following politics.
I would say you're a front runner there, 100%. I don't know many people that were that unafraid. Because I will tell you that I was an 80-20, maybe even 75-25, which is why I went ahead and took it, because it was about 20-25% going, I'm looking at infants going, what if? And then my mind's telling me this is BS.
Really?
Yeah, come on, and yeah, come on golf carts. Hey, it's Southside Steve with the Yeah, Come On show talking about one of our fantastic sponsors, and that would be North Atlanta Golf Carts. North Atlanta Golf Carts is located in Dawsonville off Highway 53 East, or you can go to Buford where they're located off Thompson Mill Road. Either way, they've got lots of brands for you. They've got Yamaha, they've got Club Car, and many others. Whatever you're looking for, they've got it, and they've been in business since 1997. When you get there, ask for Craig Riddle. He's the man. He'll be at one or two locations always during the day, and then ask for the Yeah Come On deal. He's already prepared to give you $500 off a used golf cart. So whether it's new to you or brand new, however you want to customize it, do you want it delivered? They've got parts, they've got accessories, and they work round the clock. Monday through Saturday, they're open. Sunday, they're closed. That's North Atlanta Golf Carts. Yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
All right, sports is brought to you by A Past Memory. Again, this is a fun Friday. We did lose Bob Horner this week. Bob Horner was an all-star back when there was only really two big names on the Braves. Our main men were Dale Murphy along with Bob Horner. Bob playing third, Murphy in left field. And, you know, these guys could hit, they could catch. And Bob Horner passed early. We talked about it. None of us knew he was only like 68 years old.
Yeah, that means he's only 7 years older than you.
Thank you.
I'm just saying, I would think that he's like your dad's age. You know, that's how, but I didn't realize how young he started playing professional baseball.
Well, people don't realize that he started at 18. Bob Horner's one of those guys that never played one day of minor league ball. He didn't work his way up. He came straight in to major leagues at 18. So, yeah, man, I mean, I'm literally watching that dude at, I'm 12, 11. He's 18.
Yeah.
And you would have thought, and he looked older. I
Yeah.
would have thought he was in his mid-20s, but he was 18.
Yeah.
And he's playing third base. Well, there was a moment in this, and he gets on the Braves in '79. He's the rookie. In '86, and he only played for the Braves for 9 years. In '86, he's at a game. It's just an average home game against the Pirates, and he's playing.
And we're sure it wasn't the Phillies.
It wasn't, because I always got Phillies tickets. Y'all just have to realize I saw back in the day in the 70s in Fulton County, I saw the Braves play probably 20 times. They played the Phillies 19 of those. I was like, God bless.
I guess the Pirates would be a close second.
Yeah.
It's always the Pirates, too.
Yeah, the Pirates, because we always battled the worst for first years and getting into the series. We always had to battle the Pirates. Well, a buddy of mine, Charlie Boyle, that I talked a little bit about, he was the best man for my brother Kevin at his wedding. And Charlie's father had a friend that had a suite at Fulton County Field, and that's where the Braves played. And, of course, we'd get invites last second. Somebody's not showing, do you want to come? And you could clearly see there's only 4,000 to 7,000 people at the game.
Yeah, there's not. And just to be clear, a suite at Atlanta Fulton County Stadium is really just seats with the glass or something. It's not like a suite these days where there's a full bar and service and catering and your own private bathroom.
Yeah.
The suite was just that middle level, right?
Yeah, it was a place to keep you dry if it rained.
Yeah.
So I get in the suite and I don't go, I would get in and go. But this particular game, again, the ASA shirt, Atlantic Southeast Airlines, the Delta commuter, before it actually became a product of Delta and still is.
They just bought the whole airline eventually, and it just became Delta.
And all of us were like, do we wait it out? There was always the rumor. Delta owned 20% of us. They're going to buy more, or our salary's going to go up, or we all going to be Delta. That's the thing. A lot of guys at this airline played the long game. I got out after 2.5, 3 years because I was like, I need to make more money.
So some of these guys that are part of the alumni that play in this golf tournament, are they guys that went on to work for Delta their whole career? So they can play golf every month.
Yeah.
Working for Delta that long.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. There you go.
Okay, now it makes sense.
There you go. So I say no to that game. And I'm like, I work some overtime at ASA. I'm excited. I've only worked for the airline about 5 months. And I remember it got me out of the bag room and I was on the ramp and I just wanted to work. So I said no. And Charlie calls me and reminds me, he goes, do you realize the game you said no to is the game that Bob Horner hit 4 home runs?
Wow. You missed it.
Missed it.
Missed it. I mean, could you imagine? That'd be the most exciting game. That must have been the most exciting game other than the Hank Aaron.
Right? I would say so.
One of them. There, and then there's the 4th of July one that I went to in 1985.
Okay.
That went on for to 14 innings. Rick Camp, the pitcher, hit a home run.
I remember that.
That's a famous game, too.
Oh, no.
I was at that game.
You were at that game?
Yeah.
I've seen that because the game keeps going and going.
Yeah,
it's
for
so
14
late.
innings. Yeah.
And then finally, the last guy and the announcers were like, "Wouldn't it be great if Rick could knock one out? You
Yeah.
know, but he's not going to be able. That's impossible."
Pitchers didn't hit home runs back then.
And then he did.
Yeah.
Great
So
times.
That, the Bob Horner 4 homers, and of course Hank Aaron were probably the biggest, well, in the World Series win in 95.
Yeah, and all that being in Fulton County. There's about 5 defining moments, and I'm with you. Bob Horner 4 home runs, the Rick Camp home run in the 14th, Hank Aaron 7-15, and then of course the 95 win in the World Series, and then it finished off with the 1996 Olympics.
Yep.
I got that, and then it was torn down. All right, my man. Now I'm looking.
I think I'm going to pick it.
I will let you pick
Let me
it.
pick it because we talked about Rat yesterday. We're doing some track 13s of some metal bands of the 80s.
There was a phrase of the out of the cellar or something.
Yeah. You said Out of the Cellar, and I which I love. Don't get me wrong.
No, it's a good rap album.
But
Rat.
Rat. Yeah.
No, I said rap. That's live. I meant rat.
Yeah.
But no, that was that's what turned me on at first. It had
yeah,
round
of
and
course.
round
Yeah,
on
they had
it.
Round and Round and Wanted Man. Yeah, that was
Yeah.
their big breakthrough album. But the follow up, which I've gotten into lately, Invasion of Your Privacy, is also that's the one that has Lay It Down. That's the big song, and that's one of the best guitar riffs of all time.
Yes.
So another song that I like from this Deeper Cut, track 13. I don't think it's been on the radio. Is I'm sure you've heard it on Hair Nation.
All right. Trying to think.
Dangerous but worth the risk.
Yes.
What a great song title too.
Yes.
We are
Dangerous. but
dangerous,
worth-
but worth the risk. That's what I'll say to every program director in Atlanta radio. We are dangerous, but worth the risk.
Do we have to bite our teeth? That's right. We're dangerous.
And
Put a
that's,
little Top Gun in there.
that's how we will end the show today. Thank you so much for watching and listening. And it's track 13 from Rat. Dangerous, but worth the risk. Watch the video. Link is in the description.